Am I the asshole for leaving my friend at a restaurant after she tested me? Throwaway because a lot of my friends are on here. So I, a 23-year-old female, have a close friend, a 24-year-old female, who we'll call Stella, who has this really annoying habit of doing little things to test our friendship. She'll say stuff like, I just wanted to see if you noticed I was upset, or I wanted to see if you would drop what you were doing to help me. This really pisses me off, and I've told her before that I would really love it if she stopped doing that and just talked to me openly if something was bothering her. Last weekend we went out to dinner with two friends. At the end we asked for separate checks. When it came to me, I noticed they had charged me one of Stella's drinks. She had already paid, so I decided not to say anything then, because I didn't want to complicate everything for the staff. I figured I would just bring it up later. After dinner, while we were saying bye, I quickly mentioned to Stella that one of her drinks had been charged to my bill, and that I thought she had overlooked it. I said it really nicely and pretty offhandedly. However, after I told her that, Stella suddenly got really cold and just said, oh, I'm a really awkward person and don't know how to handle people when they're being rude or standoffish, so I kinda let it slide. Later that night, she texted me saying she felt I had been acting selfishly and that she didn't feel appreciated in our friendship, despite her doing so much for me. She said she had noticed the drink wasn't charged to her and waited to see whether I would offer to cover it, since she had helped me move into my new apartment 2 months ago. I understand wanting to be appreciated, but I was honestly really annoyed. I don't think it's healthy to help your friends and expect something in return. That feels really transactional. I told her that if she wanted me to buy her a drink as a thank you for helping me move, it would have been better to say so 2 months ago. Instead, this turned something small into some arbitrary test of friendship. She replied that it shouldn't have to fall on her to keep reminding me to show basic appreciation. We decided to meet for brunch the next day to talk it out in person. I got there first and ordered a coffee. However, before I could even really say anything, she immediately started telling me how she hoped I had thought more about my actions. At that point, I just couldn't do it anymore. I was so frustrated that any attempt at having a productive conversation turned into me somehow being the villain. I just stood up, paid for my coffee, and left. I texted her afterwards saying that I was done participating in her little tests, and that I can't be friends with someone who isn't willing to communicate like an adult. I just don't know how I can make her understand that she needs to stop testing people. Quite literally. AITAH, edit. I put this in a reply to a comment somewhere, but it got buried with all the incoming replies. I really did not expect this many, Jesus, so I'm editing to add context. I didn't have enough characters originally to both get my rant out and explain all the details of the moving apartment thing, but I'm glad people brought it up. I'm actually someone who hesitates to ask people for help, because I hate inconveniencing others, so I didn't ask her to help me move. She volunteered to do it herself, and even then, it wasn't anything too crazy like big furniture, just boxes I needed to transport over from my storage unit, which I was originally planning on doing by myself anyway. And yes, I of course bought takeout for us after, because I still would have felt really shitty taking advantage of someone, even if they offered to help. Now I'm thinking maybe to her, it felt like something I would have done anyway on a random hangout, and didn't necessarily feel like an explicit thanks, which I verbally said of course. IDK, but overall, I feel like the whole situation was literally nothing significant to begin with, so I have no idea how we got here. Thank you to everyone who shared their own experiences. You've all definitely helped me get some clarity on the whole situation. I think I just started questioning whether I had been too emotional at the time and should have given her some grace. But it's definitely taxing being her friend in the long run, and I genuinely can't do it anymore.